Hey everyone, and welcome to today's craft video and how I upcycled this photo frame and candlestick to give it a gothic Halloween feel. And yeah, I hope you enjoy today's video and we will get into it. So if you're new here, I'm Jo, welcome. And as always, if you're returning, welcome friends. It's great that you've stopped by and I really appreciate the time that you take to watch my videos. Okay, so for today's craft, I'm using a photo frame that I paid £1.99 for from a charity shop. I thought that this would be really nice for this idea because it had the roses already on the top and a little bit on the bottom, and I knew that it would look really nice once it was spray painted. I also picked up a heavy duty candlestick made of glass from a charity shop. I paid £1 for it, and because the frame was quite heavy, I knew I needed quite a heavy candlestick to hold the weight, so this one was ideal. I'm also going to be using a mixture of things from Asda and Poundland to decorate it. I bought these bags of rats for £1 from Asda, and you get 6 in a bag. I bought 2 bags, I only used 1 in the end. I used some of the sequin spiders. Also, these are from Poundland and you get quite a few on a pack. And then I'm using 2 of the skeleton heads. They're £1 from Poundland. And then I bought some of the Halloween straws because I wanted to use the pumpkins that are on them. And these were also £1 from Poundland. And then I thought about adding some foliage and then deciding not to add that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the back off the photo frame. This is so that I can spray paint it and it just makes life that little bit easier. Obviously it just attaches back on with the hooks, so it's not a problem cutting it off. So I'm going to concentrate on the frame for now, and I'm going to use a hot glue gun and some tweezers, and I'm just going to stick bits and bobs that I've already said that I've bought, and I'm just going to decorate the frame. It will look a bit crazy at first before you spray paint it, but once it's spray painted, obviously you've seen what it looks like, it works in the end. So yeah, it's the first time I've done this. I've had this idea for a while and I'm really chuffed with how it turned out. So these are the pumpkins that were on the straw. And I know that I want to add one of the skeleton skulls at the base of the frame in the centre. And I'm just going to use glue to stick that in place until I'm happy with it. Like so. And then I'm just going to use bits and bobs. I'm going to use some of the spiders, I'm going to use some of the pumpkins and some of the rats, and I'm just going to cover the sections of the photo frame where the roses are not, and I'm just going to fill it up. And yeah, I'm going to have a play around and see how I feel, but I know I'm going to add some of the larger spiders with the sequins. I'm going to keep one of the skulls for the base of the candlestick, and then I'm going to add some of the pumpkins around as well and the rats. So I decided in the end I was going to see if I could cut these pumpkins so that they were individual. I wasn't quite happy with them being a large, like 4 stacked on top of each other. So I'm just using a Stanley knife, and I found that if I held the pumpkins on the side and just added a fair amount of pressure onto the plastic, that it started to cut through. Obviously, if you're doing this, be careful with your fingers. And I'm much happy with them being single than having 4 stacked on top of each other. So I'm just going to have the pumpkins in between the spiders and the rats, and just to fill up the gaps where there is a little bit of space. And I'm going to stick them around the outside, and I will be back once I have done that. So I'm happy with how it's looking. Like I said, it looks a bit crazy without it being spray painted, but I added some pumpkins at the top, a couple of the smaller spiders, some of the larger spiders, and a few rats. And I'm happy with how it looks. So I'm going to move on to the candlestick now and decorate that. So I know that obviously the frame is going to sit at the top of the candlestick, so I don't want to decorate round the top of the candlestick just to make it easier to stick on. And I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to add the skull. And then I just had to play with what I wanted to see how I wanted it to look. And again, I'm just fixing all this with my best friend, which is my glue gun. This one's from Poundland. It was £2, and the packs of glue, you get 32 in a pack. They're £2, and I absolutely love it. It's my best friend. I would be lost without my glue gun. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I use it in nearly every craft that I do. And yeah, I would be totally lost without it. So I'm just going to stick one of the large sequin spiders on the side. And you can add as much as you want to this or as little as you want. It's totally up to you. You don't have to do a Halloween version. You could use flowers. There's loads of different things you could do with this. So I'm going to finish decorating the candlestick, and I'll be back once I'm happy with how it looks, and then we can get on to the next part. So everything's dry and I'm happy with how it's looking, and I've just added one of the rats, one of the pumpkins, a couple of the small spiders, a larger spider and the skull. And now I'm going to go and spray paint it with my favourite spray paint, which is the Turner and Grey Black Gloss finish, and it's from B&M's. It's £2.99 a tin. I use this in near enough all my crafts whenever I use spray paint. They do it in white and grey, and it takes about 24 hours to dry. So I'm going to go and spray paint it, leave it to dry overnight, and I will be back once it is all spray painted. So it's the next day, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm so impressed. As I was spray painting it, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I hope it works. I hope it looks good. And I'm super chuffed with the results. I had a friend over, so I managed to get them to hold the camera while I stuck the frame to the base. And I'm just, again, using hot glue. And then I'm just going to place the frame in the centre. And once I'm happy that it's stuck, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to use this in a display. And what I need to do is, there's a couple of things you could do with this. You could have a mirror cut and put a mirror in it so that it's a mirror. You could add a scary photo, which is what I am on the hunt for tomorrow. So I'm going to go and try and find a nice scary-ish black and white photo to go in the centre. And then next Sunday I'm going to do some more to it. I'm going to make it more into a display, so it's not just a candlestick. and the frame. But I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope it's give you some ideas of things you could do with it. And I will see you tomorrow for my first Christmas craft that I've been dying to do over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, take care for now, everybody. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you leave a comment, I'll always reply. And if you've not subscribed and you want to see more from me, then hit the subscribe button. Bye for now.